birth. The codes of perfection are already here. The perfect world, the happy, joyful, everyone loving and being absolutely fulfilled in every way. This world, the seeds of that reality are already here. And if they weren't already here, trust me, I've already created them all over again. You know, they're the forces of perfection and goodness and prime creator. They're already here. And if you attune to them, you can live in that awareness all the time. You can see only that world. You can choose to live in only the perfect world. But think of your vision. Think of the dream that you're creating, the world that you'd like to live in. You can sow those seeds into this reality system magnetically through your crown, and therefore start to see those seeds everywhere. See that code germinating everywhere around you, so that if part of your perfect world is that everyone's nice to each other, now whenever you see acts of kindness, you're like, hey, cool, it's one step closer to my perfect world. Just hey, that's a manifestation of my perfect world. And I can guarantee you that since you have a very strong field, if you go places, people will be nicer to each other because you're there. There's no real way to prove this unless you videotape them before you walk in the store and after you leave the store. There's no point in trying, because also the effects of your appearance might last long before and long after you get to the store. As soon as we think about a destination, part of your field has already moved there, and you may influence people before you even arrive physically. So there's no point in even trying to prove that you've influenced people around you. Just enjoy the fact that they're happy when you're there. Who cares why they're happy? But you can guarantee this. If you keep focusing on a reality where everyone is nice to each other, when you walk in the door, people will just want to be nice to each other. They won't even know why. And they may even also do things that are not so nice to each other, but you may not even notice because you're not living in that world anymore. So if someone says something nice and then the next second says something not so nice, you'll only respond to the nice part, and therefore you'll emphasize that quality in them because that's the only part of them that you're acknowledging. So just by choosing your reality, just by creating a vision of a world you want to be a part of, you're already creating it. You're already living in it. You're already transmuting the world around you, magnetizing the world to shift around you. And for some of you, this is basic understanding. If you know it already well, then do it more. Feel that reality more. The more you live in this vision of the future, the more you live only in that reality and everything else falls away, the more you create it. And it's all through feeling. And feeling is centered at the top of the head. So the more you feel your chosen reality, the more you become a champion for it, and the more you make it happen on planet Earth. And this is how we alter the future. We don't all have to agree on one future. There's no one future. Everyone lives in their own world anyway. There's all kinds of futures. But the more powerful your thread is, the more powerful, it's like strands of DNA. The more powerful your strand is, the more you influence the actual physical course of events on planet Earth. So who cares what everyone else's vision is? It doesn't matter. Focus on your vision, and then all the similar parts of everyone's visions will come together, and that's what will manifest into a physical reality, a new physical life on planet Earth. Now, this is something wonderful to do. You might be wondering, well, gee, this isn't very physical. It's a vision. How is that useful? How is this going to change the world? Well, when you are going to decide what to do every day, you decide what you're going to do based on what you think is possible. If you thought it was possible to hop on a plane and just go to Hawaii for the day, you'd consider that as an option for what you might do that day. Most people don't, but then if you do consider it an option, then you think about, well, gee, what would I have to do to accomplish it? Well, I need to make this amount of money. If you then think that making this amount of money is possible, then you might actually try to do it, and then you might actually do it, and then if you do it, what happens? Now you're suddenly in Hawaii. So just by altering your set of what you thought was possible, you can change your whole life. So we decide what we think is possible based on what's in our crown, the top of our head. The top of our head is our potential set, our set of potentials. We don't do everything that's in our crown, but the crown dictates our sense of what is possible. The message of the crown is that anything is possible. You can do anything. But as you create potentials, as you say, I plan to do this and I want to do that, you start to make it happen. I knew for years that I wanted to do what I love for a living, and I didn't want to just have a mainstream job, but I wasn't sure how to go about actually doing it. But I knew it was a potential, and so I started to create it more and more until now it's what I do all the time, only what I enjoy. That's what I do for a living, is this form of work. So you can create anything if you think it's possible to create. If you think that you can do it, you can start to end up doing it. There's some period of time elapsed sometimes, not all the time, but it's very important to realize that if you don't think something is possible, you will never be able to do it. And what happens to most people is that they are told what's possible, and they are told what's not possible. And therefore, they become extremely limited in their behavior. They don't even try to be happy. Oh, it's such a miserable planet, why try to be happy? Oh, I'm just here because of bad karma, why should I try to be happy? You name it. They find their reasons. It's all baloney. Why not be joy? Why not be happy? Why not be beauty? Why not just be who you truly want to be in this world? It's all possible. You can do whatever you truly set your mind on. So your ability to shape the future is determined by your crown, and what you think is possible is determined by your crown. So if you create a vision of a positive, beautiful future for the planet and for yourself, you are inherently telling your body, yes, this is possible. And then you start to do it, you start to act in accordance with this vision. You say, well, gee, if I'm going to be part of a happy world, then I better think nice thoughts. Well, gee, if I'm going to be part of a happy world, I better eat better. Well, gee, since I'm going to be part of a nice, happy world, I better take care of myself. So when I get to that world, all the nice, happy people there will see that I'm in a healthy state and that I've taken care of myself. So many people stop eating properly because they don't think anyone cares or notices. You might stop dressing yourself nicely because you don't think anyone is noticing. You might stop physically exercising because you don't think anyone cares about your physical appearance. In actuality, now that you've created this future vision of a beautiful world where everyone, of course, wants to see you, well, you better take care of yourself now, because those people are waiting for you. Those people are coming. And believe you me, they are coming. There's all kinds of people coming to this place who are on your wavelength and who want to see you. So you better take care of yourself. So as you create a vision of the future and live in that world, you say, yes, this is possible. And then every single thing you do physically is emphasizing, magnifying this future. It determines what time you go to the store that day, because you decide to meditate for 5 minutes longer or exercise. It determines what form of work you choose to do, because obviously if you're going to be part of a joyful, happy world, you better be doing what you like all the time. So that means you have to find something you enjoy doing for a living, for making money.